Welcome to the SEPP Cooking Show for 2021. We were meant to be doing this down at the Antian Temple for the Cultural Festival, which is on from the 25th of December through to the 2nd of January. Unfortunately, because of the COVID situation, we've got to stay at home. Nonetheless, here we are, and we were having two sessions of cooking show each day, 10 a.m. and midday, from the 25th through to the 2nd of January. And so what is SEPP? It's Spiritual and Environmental Preservation Practice. And this is an initiative that we have been engaged in for the last 2 years now. And it's about how we address the modern crises and using spiritual as a first port of call. When we say spiritual, we mean the spiritual that you bring with you, because there's a huge diversity of spiritual amongst us all. And environmental, well, that's obviously the environment of the planet, which is being so challenged and messed up at the moment. But it's also our local environment, city environment, and it's our internal environment as well. And our approach to engaging with this situation and making a difference is about practice. So with the spiritual comes the notion of practice. And today, and for this whole series, apart from the cooking, we have the theme of the spiritual environmental practice. And today we're talking, we had the question about what is the Anthropocene? Because this whole series is dipping into our journey from the Anthropocene to the Symbiocene, and we'll be talking briefly about that each cooking show. So the Anthropocene refers to a geological age, just like we all know about the Jurassic, thanks to Jurassic Park. And in more recent times, with humans being on the planet, we've got a geological age that's called the Holocene, which is where we had pretty good conditions for human life. And then since the Industrial Revolution, we've really ramped up our human or our anthropogenic impact on the planet, on our life support systems, and made a bit of a mess of things in a sense. And so how did this come about? Well, of course, we know about the Industrial Revolution, the technology. Might be something to do with the way we view things as well. And so that's a part of it. But another way of looking at that is saying, well, we aimed to improve people's lives, and now we're experiencing these consequences and results that really nobody wanted. So climate change and destruction of the environment and societal challenges and dramas. And so we now have a choice about accepting the good things that the Anthropocene or this element of progress has given us, but shifting towards a new era, the Symbiocene, which is where we live in symbiosis with the planet, and we act with mutual benefit between ourselves and the planet. And perhaps on the more spiritual side, in regard to the Anthropocene, is having awareness, is being honest with myself and being kind, awareness, mindfulness about the situation, and being honest about that situation, because there's a lot of bad news, and sometimes we don't like to take responsibility. We don't like to think we're being blamed for all these challenges. But if we're, I believe, true to our spiritual awareness and belief, then we can be honest with ourselves about that. And then we can be kind to ourselves and others in regard to how this is played out, what we're faced with. And so this is a way of accepting the situation and taking its message to us and getting on with the work and the joy of transforming our way of living on the planet to something more symbiotic, something more of mutual benefit. So now, over to Ling for our first cooking delight.
I actually have my scissors and my bucket. I'm getting ready for the shake this morning. I'm actually going to use the carrot top. Don't need much. And the celery, not the celery, sorry, the parsley. Not that much, just a handful like that. And what else is actually, I can also use the carrot flour as well. And over here, I have got this one is actually quite bitter. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do, I just need that much. And whatever it is, there you go. That will be actually just plenty. Now up here, there's some things up here there. You can actually see just how easy it is to grow from pot. This is my favorite, my dill. So I'm actually going to put dills this morning on my shake as well. And there is perilla that I'm going to use. I think that is actually plenty now. You can actually see that that looks actually have got brown spots and things. I can actually put that into the compost bin, but I'll just use those ones that actually not brown. We'll talk about that later. And you can see that we have got a cat. Our cat's Kissy always actually wanted to be part of our life. Yes, thank you. And we won't be using mint. That is actually the mint, because we have got a couple 40-degree days, and you can see that some things are actually being burned, and we've been away as well. So here we got it, the scissors, the bucket, and a bucket full of greens. Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for being here with us in spirit. And what Tom was actually talking about and referring to, those two words are from this book where Glenn Albrecht actually have written. It's a beautiful book, and it's all actually having all the words that we will actually go through next year in spiritual and environmental preservation practice. Now, before we all start, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, our elders from past, present, and futures. I actually have to say that this country, it is not Darrow country, but this book is the written by Fans Brokens, and this is actually the calendars that I would like to share with you of the whole year, where there's no such thing as numbers, space and time. It's just connecting with natures and animals and our ancestors. That way, it's more accurate rather than December's, October's with the words, with the numbers. Now, I'm actually would like to actually to do this one here. I just wanted to show you what is it that we actually got. As Tom said, we're actually going to do shake up our life. It's our choice, what we're going to have. Are we, going to just have the fruit, and answer our choices to actually to use water, coconut water, or soya milk. It's all really actually up to individuals. And here I have got this beautiful arrangement, which I went and picked up from the garden not long ago. It's beautiful to actually to have your own garden where you can actually go out and just pick whatever you actually like to have. Now, I'm going to make two shakes today. One is actually for me, and the other one is for Tom. Now, okay, let's actually get started with Tom, he is actually doesn't like sweet because he already living someone who is actually very sweet. So he doesn't like sugar at all. So what we actually use is the beautiful. You can look at the vein, the main vein, and the hairs from the back there. That is actually the red dandelion. It's very bitter. Tom actually like to eat something that actually bitter. This is actually perilla because of the stress from the sun and the heat. That is actually brown. But here in the middle, we have got this beautiful young leaf that we can actually use. Even though it's actually brown, it still can be used. But we choose not to use them. We can actually share them with the worms. There we go. And here is our parsley that we have plenty of, and that is actually the carrot top. So what I do, I'll just actually pick all of them and dump them in. So whatever it is that can be break away with your hands, that is edible. That is actually you don't have to really use the knife at all. That's actually for me. And the deal is actually later for me. I will just have 3 different things, and that actually 4 different things for me. The less, it's for Tom. Now we have got the greens in there. And in this book, this beautiful book that Megan actually gave it, sent it from New Zealand for me. That was actually from her mother, from Tom's mother's. That is a very cool book where it tells you, all the different spices and things. I'm going to also put this beautiful dill in there as well. Now, Tom, like I said, he doesn't like sweetness. So we actually going to sweeten it with apples. And this morning when I told him that I'm going to use pear in his shake, and he go, pear? Because he doesn't like sweet. Even sweetened with fruit, he actually very good with it. Whereas
it's often not that I don't like sweet, it's just trying to be not have too much of a good thing.
Okay.
Especially at Christmas time with these beautiful fruit mince pies. Oh man. Anyway.
Tom hasn't had any fruit mince pie today and a couple of days. So he might actually change his mind a little bit. And blueberries, we always actually have a handful of blueberries in our shakes, because blueberries is very good with the antioxidant and the blood pump. Whatever it is we actually have and we feel like doing or putting in, it's to listen to our heart, to listen to our body mindfully. What is it that my body needs for now and for this morning and for this moment? Now, always
and the thing about the greens in the shake is I'd be hard pressed to sit down and chew through those greens. But if we put them in the shake, I can drink them. So I can get them in and they can do their good work.
Now with the cooking, with the shaking, with the shake, what is it that is actually about spiritual? What is it? It's about environment. What is it? It's about the preservation. What is it about the practice? We would like to hear from you. If you would like to actually to share your thought, you can actually share it on our Facebook page, 2030 Facebook, or you can actually write to us. We actually would love to hear from you. Now, this is actually for Tom, like I said, he would not actually want, coconut water or soy milk. He would normally prefer water. So I would just pop the waters in there. Very, very easy to make shakes in the morning. And we'll just put this one in there. Close it up. Now I'm going to make a little bit of the noise. Would you like to? And here we got it. That is Tom's shakes. We will pour it into the glass for him. You can see that no longer green, no longer blue, but it's come with these chocolate colors. Sometime when Tom actually, going to the city, I will just actually put some ice in there and screw on with the lid, and there he go. He had his shakes. How is it, Tom?
It's great. So it's nice and tangy with a lemon in there. And something I've found with making shakes, because the green taste can be pretty strong sometimes, is that apple really slows down the green taste, and it's not too sweet. Gives you good fibre. So that can certainly make getting the greens tastier, easier.
Okay, the next one is actually for me. So it's actually so important that we actually also look after ourselves as well. It's not just myself as well, not just for Tom. For me, like I said, I will use more fruit and less green. I always joke that even though I'm a vegetarian, but I don't really eat vegetables. So what do I normally do? I'll just make the beautiful combination to make it sweet, to make it tasty, to make it edible. It doesn't have to. I just want to show you this one here. This is the apricot. No, sorry, it's not apricot. It's carrots flowers. We actually leave it. These will produce seeds. One seed, we have got these beautiful plants of one carrot, but then it's actually give these beautiful flowers, and each dot's like that. The little dot there will give you one seed. So, and the back of it is so beautiful as well. Now, I'll just pop that in there, and you can see our little friends in there, a little bit injured, a little bit, you know, hiding into that things there. All right, a little bit of food crumbs in there. If I wanted to sweeten this up, like I said, I'm a sweet person, I will use honey. Even though Tom doesn't agree with me that honey is natural and honey is good for me, I will use it a little bit anyway, and the less of the blueberry. As you can actually see, it's depending on what you really like. You know, your personality, what body feels like. You know, what is it that is actually available in the season. You just use whatever that is available. Now I have got three choices actually. I have got water, coconut water, or soya milk. In here this morning, I have got you know, some yogurts that is actually a little bit stick to the pot. So I put some waters in there, clean it up, pour that in there. I already have got my pots clean, ready to recycle, and all the goodness is actually going in there. I do have got my like I said, I can add my beautiful raw honey from my friend Bob, the bees from his girls, or I can add water, but I can also add soya milk to it because soya milk already have got the sweetness in it. So I'm going to add soya milk to it. What else I'm actually going to do, I will add some ice to it as well. Just a handful of ice. That's it. I'm ready to go. Going to make some noises. That sometimes is for my lunch. Sometimes it's just for my dinner. Sometimes I just have it as my body actually asking for it. This is actually another thing that we do as well. Whatever that is actually left over, we can actually put it in the jar, put the lids on, and put it in the fridge, and we can have it later. Now, I just wanted to show you another thing. There's a problem with, you know, the beautiful things that we actually do and the choices we actually have that we actually doing ourselves, the shake, is that when I actually go out, you know, I always is actually miss what I can do, what my own shake is. The shake from the shop is no longer as good as what I actually would actually make.